Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Thanks so much, everyone, and welcome back on Shaky Ground, conquering insecurity. That's what I want to talk about today. But before I jump into this topic of insecurity, I want to speak briefly about the joy, the absolute joy of inner stability and security. I want you to imagine that you are taking your beautiful boat out for a wonderful day of sailing on the lake, and no one told you that just over the horizon there is a storm brewing, and you forgot to check the weather report. So you're in your boat, you're in the middle of the lake, and just the winds kick up, the waves are kicking up, and all of a sudden instinctively you just go to your boat and you drop down 2 or 3 really strong, sturdy anchors, and regardless of what is going on around you, you are calm, you are centered, and you have the peace of knowing I'm going to be okay. It doesn't matter how bad the storm gets or how much wind kicks up, I'm going to be okay. That is what inner security and calm and confidence feels like, and I want everyone to have it, because I know what this kind of balance and being centered and grounded can do for your life. When you think about being on shaky ground and life management, the truth of the matter is, unless you get a handle on yourself and your insecurities, if you're dealing with them, you are going to suffer. You're going to suffer in this lifetime because life is controlling you and you are not controlling life. So I want to talk to you a little bit about conquering your insecurities and also dealing with people on a day-to-day basis who are insecure. So this is a 2-in-1 video. Insecurities can occur for a lot of different reasons. Lack of validation and being grounded as a child, bad experiences in your life that get programmed into your psyche in a certain way and you never dealt with. Also, feelings of disconnection, being disconnected from your true value, worth, and self-love. So can occur for a lot of different reasons. And I have to say, my own personal testimonial around 2004, 2005, the Lord really brought me out of an insecure nature, and every year is getting better and better. I am a loving, grounded, confident woman today, and as I said, I want everyone to feel and have this same vibration. So I'm going to share with you some winning tips and suggestions. Number one, if you need to move out of insecurity yourself, or if you're dealing with people who are insecure, number one, very important, drop the lies. Drop the lies. I've said it many times in other videos. If you feel the need to falsities to other people, whatever you need to do to get through the day, but by all means, do not lie to yourself. You gotta know where you stand, because you cannot manage what you don't acknowledge. So, okay, Sheila, how do I do this? Write it down. Write it down. And be bold about it. These are the insecurities that I'm dealing with. Write it down on a piece of paper. Take a screenshot, screensaver of it. But that's the first step. You can't lie. You got to know what you're dealing with. Number two, and this is the heart and soul. This is really the summation of the information I'm sharing today, is you must create a zero tolerance policy for anyone other than you to manage the shaky ground that you're standing on. And I call it on shaky ground because when you're dealing with insecurity, it's like a constant earthquake is erupting. You just can't get your stability. You're moving and shaky. You cannot make anyone else responsible for that other than you. It is your inheritance. It doesn't matter how you got it. It's your inheritance. Now, I had a client, her father passed away, left her a gorgeous property. It was a rundown old Victorian house, and she comes to me and she said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fix this up. This is too much, hundreds and thousands of dollars. I said to her, look, your father left you enough money to clean it up. She said, I just don't want to do it, but it's your inheritance. She spent 2 years renovating this property, thought she was going to sell it. It ended up looking gorgeous. It's like, you know what, I'm going to move into this myself. Dealing with your stuff is the same way, because what you take ownership of, you're going to care for. You're going to care for more deeply, bit by bit, over time. So I cannot stress it enough. What is your stuff needs to remain your stuff. I know people who are insecure, they project that onto their children, their spouse, anyone who's in the eye of the storm, if you will, gets a little piece of it. It's not fair, and it erodes and degrades your relationships. Work with a woman who was not a model, but part of her job was to be around supermodels all day, managing them, what have you. And she confided, I'm just, at one point I was deeply insecure during this work. And I said, my goodness, I would have never known that. And she said, Sheila, because I own it. I never projected it onto them, always kind, caring, professional. And I got myself through that. And you have to take the same stance. It's your inheritance. And so it's your responsibility to clean it up. Number three, the third step, when you are taking ownership and doing that core inner work, number 3 is to celebrate and observe. You need to observe yourself making victories and making strides, because as you observe yourself, you're going to get more excited about the process. How do you observe yourself? You need to write it down in a journal. You need to make some time every week to do some reflection. How am I doing with that insecure stuff? You need to see yourself. You need to see yourself and making your strides. And if you're not making strides, but yet you still remain accountable, you're not going to stop trying. And I want to say a couple words about dealing with insecure people. It's very difficult if you're in a relationship with an insecure person or trying to have a friendship with an insecure person. Those relationships almost never reach their full vibrational level, that highest vibration of divinity, harmony, joy, love, camaraderie, because so much time goes into just managing their insecurity. I was in a wedding with a friend of mine some years ago, and instead of being overjoyed for the bride, instead of being happy that she was included in the wedding, she turned it on herself. Oh, I haven't met anyone. Look at this. Woe is me. So all this energy, she put a damper on everything because she fell into a depression. All this energy had to go into managing her instability and shaky ground when normally it would have been a joyous thing. Insecurity also leads people into delusion states. You start telling yourself things that are just not true, and it just spirals on and on and on in your mind. So my tip, if you have a person like this in your mind, you have to begin to refuse to stand on this shaky ground, this shaky, often delusional, very disruptive ground with them. You can say, I will stand next to you and offer you support and hold your hand while I'm standing on solid ground, but I'm not going to jump on this shaky ground with you. What good is it going to do for both of us to be twisting and twirling around in the wind? And it may seem like tough love. It may seem like tough love, but tough love is still love. I recently sat with a 48-year-old man, and he said, Sheila, my parents, they're the ones that messed me up. You know the history of my childhood. They're the ones that messed me up. Okay, I'm not going to dispute you. They probably did. That's half the country. That's half the country that's messed up from something your parents did. But now what? Now what? Clean up the inheritance. You have to clean up the property of your life. This belongs to, no matter how you got it. What matters is that you fix it, move on with life in a strong, focused and powerful way. Now, this YouTube video and none of my videos are complete without a reminder. You want the ultimate help? Yes, I love YouTube. Yes, I love doing these videos, but there's some help that trumps even these videos, and that is calling on the Lord. When the hand of God intervenes, you're unstoppable. Ask Him. It's a simple prayer. Father, I'm on shaky ground here. I'm on shaky ground. I'm looking for some help, looking for assist. And when it comes, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. I hope this information has been helpful. I want all of my subscribers on stable ground. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time.